I believe we're at 7 o'clock, are we not?
Yeah.
If I could have everyone stand to join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our November meeting. I see we have a special guest first up on the agenda, so Mr. Kraler, if you'd like to approach the podium, and we'll have you go first.
Good evening, council members, the president of the community, vice president, and staff, and respectful council members. Requesting, I want to thank you for all the past 9 years you've allowed us to do the St. Stan's Trail 3-5K run walk. So we're proposing again for this year for a date of Saturday, June 5th. And this would be the 10th annual 5K. And we propose the same 8 o'clock starting time. The Run Walk fundraiser will be, again, tiered for seniors, adults, and children. We propose that the same route that we used this past June will remain the same. We are preparing entry forms which will include waivers of liability for the benefit of Trail Creek, and will cooperate with Trail Creek Town Council and the Police Department to make this event fun and safe. An event for Trail Creek and for our parish to be proud of and to possibly continue again on an annual basis. Your kind cooperation and request is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, Patrick Kraler, race director. In the event that COVID-19 restrictions would kind of interfere like they did in 2020, we would try and propose a fall date like we did back at that time, along with the cooperation of Team H Time this spring. So thank you in advance for your consideration.
Does anyone have any questions?
What was the date, Pat?
Saturday, June 4th. This will be a few days after Memorial Day, so I know it's a few days after, and I know it's kind of a little bit of a tight time, but we're trying to stick to that first Saturday.
Sure.
Good.
No questions?
Steve, were there some concerns with traffic control this last year?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think we did pretty good.
There was something going
The concern
on.
comes into play is when we don't have enough guys, and we bring somebody in, we're paying somebody overtime. We managed it with just me this year. So we had somebody down at the big problem was Cool Spring Ave.
Okay.
So I did one section, and Pat, who was it, did the other intersection. And it worked out fine.
I thought there was something with signage or something.
Oh, well, we had talked about doing a course where we have our own signs, and we put the signs out showing it, and then we would charge for the use of them and package it with, the police and traffic control on Cool Spring, but we tabled that, we didn't move forward.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure there weren't any issues before.
No, we had no issues. They run a tight ship, and I have no objection to what they're doing.
Any further questions from anyone? Okay, hearing no questions, do we have a motion to approve the St. Stan's Run Walk again for 2022 on June 4th?
I move to accept for June 4th next year.
Okay, and
Or 5th.
Fourth.
Yeah, he said fifth. I think he
it
said
was
Saturday,
June 5th.
Yeah, it says 4th here.
This year, it was June 5th, next year will be the 4th.
Right.
So,
I'll second that.
thank you, Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
And you have unanimous approval. Thank you. We look forward to having you back.
It's a great event.
Absolutely.
I try to participate.
which we have one. She did 2 a year.
But it was, St. Luke was talking about it, and I did talk to them about custom organizing, but I guess they decided against it. Then in 2020, we needed the fall date because of the COVID restrictions.
Sure.
That turned out. Thank you again.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't take the whole meeting now.
All right, let's move on to approval of the minutes from the October meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look over their packets? I know they got there quite early today, which was nice. Thank you, Jocelyn.
What's that?
They got there early today, so thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, no problem.
I move to approve the minutes as presented for the October 19th meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, on to the fund report. And I didn't see anything that stood out to me, but Jocelyn, is there anything?
Only that this report doesn't reflect it because it's up to the end of October, but we did receive our first installment of the ARP funds on November 3rd in the amount of $224,000, $224,869.
Okay. Any other questions or anything from anybody?
Make a motion, we approve the fund report,
Thank you.
10/1 to 10/31 of 2021.
And a second,
I will
please.
second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Justin, what was that date? We received that?
November 3rd. You come through EFT, just electronic through the link account.
Okay. And move on to payment of the bills. And I didn't notice anything here that was abnormal or seemed to be something we didn't know about already. Anybody else have questions or comments?
Nothing stood out to me, so.
It's a lot of bills.
It is a lot of bills. But
The
it was,
amount is high, but to note, we did make 12 payments to the Cool Spring in the amount of $700,000. We usually do it January and December, but for some reason the contract did not get into place, and that's the one that you guys approved last month, the prior contract, so we went ahead and made payment.
which is one of the reasons for it being high, and then it looks like we had some
Got it.
capital outlay stuff.
I see it now.
that we don't
Okay.
normally see, so.
Yeah, that's a big chunk. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion, we approve the accounts payable register for the month of October 2021.
Thank you, Scott. And a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sharon. All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. Jocelyn, any correspondence?
No.
Okay. And moving on to reports. It's nice to see you, Kate.
Nice to see you. I've got a number of things. First of all, the state has, haven't finalized, but they're revamping the rules regarding permitting and ordinances. They won't be rolled out till mid-January. One of the things that is going to change is that we're now going to have to identify and locate on maps and so forth all pipes, no matter what size they are, and every conveyance for water. So basically they want to account for every little drop of water that hits the ground. That's the way I kind of look at it. Further news, Rick has decided to retire.
Oh, okay.
Officially, he will be retired on January 30th of next year. But since he's had this job, he's hardly taken any vacation time. So he'll be around a little bit in December and then not at all in January.
Okay.
So our first priority is to find someone, at least temporarily, who's going to keep up with inspections and plan reviews. We're going to talk to Ariana. She's not back yet from maternity leave.
Okay.
The other issue is that the city of LaPorte is going to build a strong internal stormwater program. They're going to hire their own MS4 coordinator, their own GIS. So they're not sure if they're going to pull out of our cooperative completely or if we're work out some type of compromise between
Okay.
the county of LaPorte, us, and Long Beach. No, everything's kind of up in the air with that. I mean, the one thing it's more than likely going to do, depending on what decisions are made, is it will increase the amount of our contribution, one way or another. Because they are the second largest funding source right behind the county. So,
Okay.
you know, part of the reason they're able to do this is because they have a stormwater fee that they initiated a couple of years
Okay.
ago. They started that. So we're kind of up in the air again.
Okay.
We just have to kind of see how it plays out. We do want to, at some point, fairly soon, have a meeting with the president, the commissioner, president of the county commissioners, and see where their thoughts are on how to move forward as far as hiring someone.
We as in the county council, or I mean,
No,
the
county
MS4?
commissioners.
But MS4, or? okay.
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify that for
Yeah.
my own purposes.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Marinsky,
Right.
you know, and because he is aware that Rick is going to retire, but Rick has not heard back from him. So,
Okay.
you know, they would like nothing more than to get rid of us. But as we have, every year we seem to have, we have some kind of small battle over our funding
Okay.
and so forth. So it's going to be rather unpredictable as to what's going to happen moving forward at the moment.
Okay.
And I just found out I did receive an email from Rick that he was thinking about it a week or so after our last meeting, but he officially announced it today. And today was also the first time I heard about what the city of LaPorte was going to do.
Okay.
So, I wish I had some more guidance for you at this point, but
No, but that information is appreciated.
For
I
sure.
just don't. I mean, I'm hoping we can do something, you know, we've accomplished a lot on a little.
Absolutely.
I really
Absolutely.
hate to see, you know, everything that Rick and Ariana have done
Go by the
waste.
wayside, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a tremendous following, especially online now.
Yeah,
so-
and other MS4s are starting to follow our lead as far as social media is concerned, the videos and so forth, so, you know.
Okay.
On that alone, I'd hate to see it get dismantled. Because they worked really hard.
And they've done a phenomenal job. Okay.
So, unfortunately, no good news tonight.
But that's okay. You're just a messenger. We know that. So any questions for Kate?
Good.
No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I will keep you apprised of developments as I know them.
Much appreciated.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Herba.
Good evening, everybody. You recall we had one of the citizens that bought what I call plum property on Edgemore. I did go in and review that. There is a long way to his garage, however, his RV was in violation of our ordinance. It wasn't back, at least to the side of the garage. I didn't do measurements, but I advised Steve that if he would take it and move it back to the garage, that he would be technically on the side of his house, so it'd be in compliance. So I don't know if that was done or not. I didn't check.
Actually, through his admittance, he's hard to catch. I caught him today. He passed me on the road
Okay.
and stopped me, and I explained to him and showed him that the motorhome sits completely forward of the house and that the ordinance is clearly being violated. And that you had been out there and explained that if it goes all the way back to the garage, I'm sure a little bit will stick forward, but probably 95% of it's going to be behind the face of the house. So he's got a dumpster there now because he's still working on the house. I actually went in and it's insane what he's done with it. And he says once that dumpster's out of there, he's going to try to take that tree down and then he'll get it back and as far off to the north side.
Modify that, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I told him that's fine, you know, as long as you understand, he did.
Okay. I think the property at 1929, we're just waiting for a date. 1929 Cool Spring. I think.
It was left with Steve, he said he needed to speak with you, and I couldn't schedule it because I need to coordinate.
That we talked about already?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about it, and I said any additional law enforcement fees, they should be added to the
Sure.
lien, and we should recover those costs also, whatever they are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't heard from the trust people, but my thought is they're not gonna let it go into foreclosure, you know, or execute on their lien, so they'll probably pay it, but they probably want a full price as to what it's gonna cost.
Okay.
And we don't know that until it's cleaned up. 110 Harding Street, as you know, I've been trying to contact Mr. Luna and Mr. Hines, who both own parts of that house. Mr. Luna's moved several times. I don't know if I can get a good address. We're probably gonna have to advertise that in the paper. Mr. Hines hasn't responded to me either. Our offer to Mr. Hines was, would you consider deeding your portion of the home over to the town, and then we would consider maybe demolishing it. I haven't heard a response from that. My other thought was maybe he didn't pay the taxes on it and go up for tax sale, somebody else would buy it, but he's paying the taxes on it. We've been able to resolve some places like that, like 235, Harding, we got that resolved that way, but at any rate, I suggest what we do is start our unsafe building procedure. That's gonna take 60 to 90 days anyhow. And then at the conclusion of that, if there are repairs or it isn't brought up to code, then we can get a demolition order again, so that hopefully we can have enough funds in our budget to get it demolished, put a lien on the land, and then we can sell the land.
Could we encumber those funds this year if we have them before the end of the year? And that way we'd have it for next year without having additional.
We already have a demolition order on half the house.
Right. But do we have the funds already encumbered for that and saying, okay, we're
I don't know.
reserving
If we do
X amount of
this-
dollars?
Yeah, but obviously we can get that done.
So we have to have a bid
If
before we
there's
have
money,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We probably need to get a bid then going to demolish it, whatever that cost is.
Okay.
Michigan City pays between $9,000 and $12,000 depending on the house. so.
Okay, so we'll need a motion to do
Is the
that.
bid gonna be still good by the time you get the order?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, if they hold it out 90 days, it might be, because I doubt that they're gonna respond to anything. That's been the
So
procedure.
my thought is if we do the bid now, at least we'll know approximately what we'll be at, and it won't
And
be
you can
too far
encumber
over that.
amount.
Right.
You know. The only other thing, going through my list of things that isn't yet accomplished, I don't know if we want to do it, but remember the feral cat issue? I haven't done anything on that, nor has there been any more discussion of it, so I just wanted to let you know that
It's still
that's
on your
still out
mind.
there.
Thank you for
If you
that
want me to do
reminder.
something, you know, I will. If not, it may go away. Who knows?
I don't think they'll ever go away.
Right?
But I don't think right now is the time for us to worry about that.
Okay. Other than that, that's all I have.
That's it? Wow, okay.
Been a quiet month.
Oh, all right, thank you. Mr. Doyle, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fine, how are all of you?
Doing well, it's nice to see you.
Pretty quiet on my end. Couple driveways got completed finally, one on Firefly, on Levenhagen, and one on Old Mill Trace, which is a hydronic heated driveway. Quite interesting to watch them put that in, but that's done. The only other one that's open that I can recall is on Kildare, and I don't think that's going to be done this year. So, other than that, out of my office, we're working on getting the LTAP grant straightened out, or at least applied for. So Jeff Swanson from the office is doing doing that this evening. We can
Thank
try
you.
to get started, and
Yes.
that needs to be done by the first of the month.
Okay.
Other than that, that's it.
Isn't that deadline extended to April or something like that?
What, that's not for the actual grant, it's the
Oh.
first step in the eligibility
Okay.
process is to have the approval from LTAP.
Okay.
And this year they were very particular, they wanted it broke down and they wanted the actual Excel spreadsheets and that all comes from John Dolan's office and Jeff has kindly offered to get that sorted
I
out.
don't think I'd use the word offered.
Well, we appreciate you
Yeah.
taking that on, even if you didn't offer. Okay, so moving on. Has the park department met at all? No? Okay. Anything from the building inspector? Okay. Anything from planning and zoning?
Do we have to do anything with the redevelopment commission this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Are we gonna wait to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other report?
No.
Okay. Anything from the police department this evening?
Good evening, everybody. I just want to mention that trick or treat went very well. We had quite a few kids come out, very well received, had a great time. Took a lot of pictures. I hope you guys saw them on social media, we placed them on social media. I want to thank those who donated. It makes all the difference in the world. So to you guys, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's those types of things that build our credibility, not only as a police department in the eyes of our residents, but the kids. The kids absolutely love it. And I do too. I like interacting with them. We don't get a lot of chances to do that at Trail Creek. They don't come out to the parks like the kids used to. So that's one of the big times we get to show them that we're human too. So thank you for your help there. We talked about the motor home. As you all know, last year I asked you to buy back some of my vacation time, and because of some of the issues that we're having in getting staffing. And once again, I'm coming to you. I gave Jenny a list of my hours for the year. And right now I'm at 18.55 days remaining. I'll be working at minimum Friday a half a shift, which is going to take me over 19 days of vacation time remaining. Mind you, I start out at 19. Every half shift I cover, every shift I cover is added back in. I have one vacation day that's for sure, and that's this Saturday. I have two more I'm trying to get coverage for. I don't know that I'm going to get coverage for them. So I would actually just work those days. So I'm asking you again this year if you'll buy back 15 days of my vacation at 12.25 hours per day. One of the things that I want to point out is even though you're paying, for these days, it's generally the person that gets stuck working the day shifts is going to be Nick, because he covers when I'm off. If we can't find a part-timer to work, which is generally the problem that we're running into. They'll work the night shifts, but they won't work the day shifts as much. It's still cheaper reimbursing me than it is to pay Nick to work these shifts. I'll throw that out there. So there is some sort of a small savings there for what it's worth.
Not to throw his business out there, but what does it cost to pay Nick to cover those shifts?
His overtime rate is $37.46 an hour.
Okay.
So it's roughly $7 an hour cheaper.
Okay.
So that would have been for 15 days
15 days at 12 and a half hours a day.
Right, 12 and a half hours a day.
12.25, not 12.
Got 12 and a
Sorry,
quarter.
12 and a quarter. Okay. So we're passing that list down so everyone can review it.
Absolutely.
If you wanna-
I'm also gonna, while we're waiting, this is gonna be completely up to the council also. I know that our buyback policy states they have to let us know by November 1st. he was aware but wasn't thinking about the November 1st deadline. He has 8 days that he has not used. He initially asked if he could cash them in, and I said, well, you've got till November 1st to let us know that you want us to buy them back. So he's trying to take them by the end of the year, but we run into the same thing. I'll end up covering his shifts, which if nobody works, and that's 8 more days. I don't know if you want to entertain the idea of buying back those 8 days or whatever, extending his date to make that decision from November 1st up through December 1st.
So we either pay him or pay you?
Well, you don't pay me. If he takes his 8 days off and I work them, I don't get overtime.
Okay.
That's just 8 days that I work.
Your days this year, can they be carried over to next year? Or
No.
They're.
And even if we do, we run into the same problem.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, we've got something in the works right now, but we're still looking 12 months out before that, comes to fruition as a full-time resolution. Because there's no academy space come January. That's been sold out for months. Then there's a 36-man wait to get anybody in. So we know that we're at least looking at, 15 weeks past the beginning of the year before the academy starts, the second academy starts, so.
South Bend isn't doing the academy?
South Bend was a one-time thing. Nylea is doing an academy that starts in December, but we're not members of Nylea. The cost was, it was cost prohibitive. We never used Nylea, and then they tried to charge us a $500 technology fee, so we separated from them for the sole fact that we weren't getting our money's worth out of it.
Okay, so that if we approve this, not only we still need to readjust last year's salary ordinance from doing that, but we also need to adjust this year's.
Correct.
To,
And there were 2 points that she made. One of them was the salary ordinance, and one was the motion to change it. So this would be the 1 point, the second point would be the salary ordinance.
correct.
For 2020 and 2021, 2020 has to be corrected, and 2021 would need to be amended.
Correct. So we'd have to do, just because I don't know the exact dollar amounts of what we'd be approving tonight, I would feel more comfortable approving this part tonight and doing the next part with both corrections in December. Is that if everyone's okay with that?
Yeah,
That way we know exactly the dollar amounts that we're correcting.
Well, I'm looking at,
Approximate figures now? Okay.
I don't know if you're using the 2080 rule, but we work more than 2080 in a year because it's 12.25, it's like 2,200 hours in a year or something ridiculous like that.
well, I'm just figuring what we'd have to pay either one of you if Nick were to work your time or if we were to actually pay you. So that's what I just figured.
Who's that?
That's if we were to actually pay him.
Yeah, is that Marshall's?
Yeah, that was this year, and that's if Nick actually works the time for his overtime. So $1,100 difference.
So we'd be saving $1,100 actually just to pay him
Yeah.
instead of Nick.
And as I said, last year, his vacation and personal sick is already included in his salary. So really, he should be taking comp time. That's my recommendation. You didn't take it last year. Not sure if you want to think about it this year. But he is an exempt employee, so his bi-weekly pay already includes his vacation, his sick, and his personal.
Understood, but if he's not able to use it, then that doesn't, I mean, I'm also a salaried employee, and if I'm not able to use mine, my company has a different, procedure and policy for this.
That's why we need to go.
But I would still get paid for
We
it.
needed, this policy has to be taken care of.
Correct. Because
That way
if Steve were to leave today,
That way
he'd
we're
still
not in
get paid
trouble
for
with
this
the
amount.
State Board of Accounts because it's not budgeted, right?
Well, I
That's where
mean,
the salary ordinance gets adjusted.
Right.
the salary ordinance can be adjusted,
Right.
but it's just important to remember that it's already included, and in this case, it really should be comp time. But like you said,
Doesn't do me any good when I
takes
can't take
time.
time off to begin with.
But I have seen you've been able to take comp time, but with 3 officers, you probably are having a difficult time.
But anyway, so there's my request. Thank you.
Council?
I would say in a perfect world, if we had the full complement of officers, then in this, the comp time, would come into play. But I mean, to me, this is kind of a special circumstance where we're shorthanded and we're trying to cover, and you're not allowed to take the days that you've earned, and that's a problem. So, one way or another, we have to address that. Absolutely. So,
Anyone else?
Based on what Kyle said.
Sharon?
So how many do you have part-time?
10.
10. And how many hours do they put in?
It varies because it goes on their availability. What I do is I take the schedule for the month or the next 3 months now. I've been doing 3 months at a time. And I say, these are the shifts that we need covered. And then they send me the hours that they can work, and I divvy them up as evenly as possible based on their availability. But they never cover, like, in December, I think we still have at least 5 shifts not covered, and now I found out I've got 2 more will now be covered because he put down that he wants those days, but now he can't work those days.
So, for example, you have I see 2 vacation days for Nick and another one that you took, looks like all in September. On those days, when you're planning out your next 3 months, do you put down your vacation days on that schedule to see if they, okay.
Yeah. Or if they come in afterwards, and we'll send out an email, a follow-up email.
Okay.
It's fluid. Our scheduling is very fluid. It changes daily, literally.
no call-offs too? Or somebody's...
Fortunately, we don't have a lot of call-offs, but we were getting some no-shows, but that problem rectified itself, fortunately. But as far as call-offs, we really don't get a lot of, they're pretty responsible people. And they know that we're kind of...
Sure, sickness, yeah.
We don't allow that.
It's a nice thought, but that still happens.
You guys are new to that.
Council, I need your thoughts and comments otherwise. I mean, I know what Kyle said, we know what Sharon said. Pete?
I think I would like to table this until we can discuss it amongst ourselves further. I think it's gonna take a little bit longer than the meeting this evening.
Fair enough.
So that's, I would actually make that motion tonight.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Question for you, Steve.
Yeah.
For a part-timer, say if they work in another state, close by, could that deputy, officer, or whatever cover? Nada?
You're talking if they're a cop in another state?
Yes.
They have to be certified in Indiana.
Certified Indiana?
Yeah.
That goes by the state.
That's what I thought.
It would be certified by the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board.
Got it. So I spoke with 2 officers up in Michigan. Stone's throw away. But I want to clarify through you.
Yeah, they can't work here. They have to go through the full academy.
Yep.
Can you get us another copy of a similar report for Nick? So we'll know what he's,
I don't keep that for Nick.
no, I mean what days he's not able to use so that we can try to
Yeah,
consider
I
that.
do have that for Nick, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I don't have his, isn't as detailed, it's just, I just put the days that he takes off on there.
okay.
He doesn't do, like 3 hours here or work an extra 2 hours here type of thing. But yeah, there's a spreadsheet for everybody.
Okay.
Back to the trick or treat thing real quick. Did you notice a significant decline in the number of people at church? Because this was the first year that they coordinated, right? Michigan City and
We
everybody.
do that every year.
Yeah, we do it every year.
We try to do it every, that
was on the
cuts
same
down
night.
the number of,
Yep.
Okay. I thought
we do it from 4 to 6, and cities doing it from 6 to 8, then everybody's here, then they go there.
Right.
This way it's kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Right, okay.
But I'll tell you what, I think this year was the busiest we've been. I think we've done this 4 or 5 years now, and this is probably the busiest that we've been. We could easily have went through 15 gallons of hot chocolate in about an hour and 10 minutes, so we could have easily done close to 20 gallons, 25 gallons. But unfortunately, we can only get 3.
It's a lot of hot chocolate.
5 gallons. Well, I started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon making hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's a lot of hot chocolate.
It's 15 gallons you boil on a residential stove. Wow. 3 gallons at a time.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of
That's
hot,
my
that's hot
Sunday
chocolate.
afternoon.
That's a lot of hot
It's
chocolate.
a lot of hot chocolate.
It is.
Was the wallpaper peeling off the room
We
here?
have to leave it all.
All right, so we'll need to set up a meeting to, this will be part of
yes.
that meeting.
For sure.
To get that discussion.
Yep.
And because it's a personnel meeting, it can be, or a personnel matter, it can be a closed meeting, so. So we'll need to get that done before we leave tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything further? All right, thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Anything from Chris in the street department? No, okay, I know that they have started leaf pickup, and they'll continue that as long as weather is permitting through their planned dates. Right now, they're not doing sticks, limbs, and branches, but they have prepared one of the dump trucks, I know, for plowing, just in case. So they're ready to go, just in case.
Target of December 10th?
I believe so.
Last?
I believe so.
You've got all year.
Hopefully. Moving on, anything from NERC?
No, I have a Zoom meeting tomorrow for the full
Okay.
commission.
All right.
Excuse me.
All right, well, going on to old business, golf carts.
I'm gonna move to table that indefinitely because there is currently no interest.
Okay.
So,
And all right, so can we have a motion to, well, you've made the
I
motion.
made the motion, right.
We need a second.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
thank you,
I
Kyle.
was on your side on that.
And 1929 East Cool Spring. Would you like to read the motion that we need made again?
We don't need a motion on
I mean, you've
1929.
already given the update, so.
Right,
I don't know that we have anything else to do there.
really not.
Okay.
We've scheduled everything, so
All right,
hopefully we get it cleaned up before winter.
that would be great, so we don't have a bigger
Yeah.
mess in the spring. The CSX Quiet Zone.
So I'm going to also move to table this issue due to our budget constraints, because I know it's gonna take probably $6,000 for the CSX engineer to come out and take a look at that. So just move to table that for now.
All right, and a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Kyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, moving on to new business. We need a motion to advertise or discuss appointment of town attorney, town engineer, and of street commissioner.
Yeah.
The big three.
Thanks.
I know that we don't have to probably formally advertise for those positions. I would feel better if we did, only because then we can reach a wider audience.
For sure, yeah.
How does everyone else feel about that?
I'm ready to make that motion.
I'm not ready to accept the resignation still, but I know I have to.
Yeah, we have no choice.
All right, so Pete, you've got the motion on the
I
floor.
move to advertise for the appointment of a new town attorney, new town engineer, and for the street department commissioner.
Ouch.
I'll second.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sharon. All in favor?
I unfortunately.
I know.
Mr. Herbach, and Jocelyn, I don't know if you have something written for that already, or if we need his assistance in writing said advertisement.
I'll help any way I can, yeah.
That would make it a lot easier, I think.
Sure.
Since we need 3 altogether.
Well, we've never
Yeah.
done an attorney or an engineer, but the
Right.
street commissioner,
That one we've got written
that
from.
would be easy.
Yeah, okay. The other thing we need to do is talk about establishing a redevelopment commission. And I know that was somewhat discussed last month at the meeting, and I don't know how far that went beyond what I saw in the minutes. What does that take for us to establish that? I know the council can serve as the redevelopment commission, correct?
They can. Probably the first step is to develop an ordinance that we're interested in doing the TIF. And that's what we need to, and then we'll, based on that, we'll establish a redevelopment.
I thought it was the other way around.
I was gonna say
You
the
have to
same
do your
thing.
redevelopment.
Right, and then the redevelopment
That's
establishes a
That's
TIF.
all included in the
Right,
ordinance.
right.
You can establish a redevelopment ahead of that if you want.
I think,
And like most towns, the redevelopment is the council typically.
okay. And we can write the ordinance as such?
Mhm.
Okay. Can I make the motion?
No.
Dang it. So I need a motion to create an ordinance to establish a redevelopment commission for the town of Shoal Creek.
I'll make that motion to create a redevelopment commission for the town of Churl Creek.
And would you like the council members to serve as the commission members?
And the council members to serve as the commission members. Yes.
Thank you,
I will
Kyle.
second that motion.
Thank you, Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Get this ball rolling.
Council President.
Thank you. We are now at the public comment portion of the meeting. Seeing as there is no other public, we'll skip that. Anything from the clerk's office this evening? Anything else from the council members this evening?
Silencio.
No? Okay, I will thank both the police department and the clerk's office for being there for Halloween to represent the town.
Yes.
The pictures were great. Looked like you did have a great
I
response
didn't
out
see
there.
those. Were they on the Trail Creek?
They were on
Okay, I'll have to go
the
take a
police
look.
department Facebook page.
Oh, you know, I'm not, okay, I haven't seen that page yet. So,
How'd you vote?
and that's, that makes sense.
I'll send it over. But it looked like you did have a great turnout. I think one of my favorite pictures, there was a little guy in a police car.
That was Tom Agricious.
He's gonna have him cover a shift.
Exactly. He already brings his own car,
Hey, he's
so,
worked 2 shifts.
you know, we'll work for candy.
Yeah, right.
We said any child that dresses as a cop for Halloween has to pick up the midnight shift.
Yep.
There you go, there you go. And he's got his own car, so why not?
It's eco too.
All right, it is eco, because it's
Remote control too.
even better. If there are no other comments from the council,
I move to adjourn.
thank you.
Second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
It
And
is
all have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
7:43.
Man.